Read my wife's journal. Feeling sick and upset. Throwaway. First things first, I know I should never have opened up her journal in the first place. It is a massive breach of trust and I feel horrible about it. I am 31, have been married to my wife, F30, for 6 years. Our marriage and relationship in general have had its ups and downs, but generally I would say that we are both very happy and have a great life together. Yesterday I was doing some cleaning and came across a standard-looking notebook, like the ones you use in school, and without knowing what it was I opened it and quickly found that it was my wife's diary. I think she had been using a notebook instead of an actual-looking diary to be more discreet. Anyway, as soon as I figured it was her personal journal, I should have shut it and moved on. But I didn't. My morbid curiosity got the best of me and I decided to take a gander. Big mistake. Most of what was in there was pretty tame, but there were 3 or 4 instances that made me feel downright sick to my stomach, and I don't know what to do or how to handle it. Basically, there were a few paragraphs from over the summer, so like 6 months ago, that describes a situation where a guy started DMing her on Instagram, and it made her feel young and sexy and wanted, so she gave in and started chatting with this guy, I think pretty regularly. One thing that really stuck out went something like this. I have to be honest, chatting with this guy was electric. It was so exciting. We exchanged lots of messages. Bad ones. What the fuck does bad ones mean? I can only assume it was inappropriate sexting type messages, nudes, or a combination of both. Then she went on to say something like, I had a moment where I wanted to leave me to hook up with this guy, reading that made me feel sick to my stomach. She actually thought about leaving me for another guy, but couldn't bring herself to do it because she doesn't want to end up alone. That's just one part. There was another entry a few months ago, where she specifically says she got drunk one night, after we had a fight, downloaded Tinder, matched with someone, and shared nudes to him within 30 minutes. Then proceeds to almost joke about it like, hope I don't get blackmailed. I am so disgusted and upset. There were a couple of other things in there that I could mention, but those 2 things specifically are really weighing on my mind. I kind of tested the waters in a roundabout way, asked her if she considered sending inappropriate messages to people outside of me cheating, and she yes absolutely, and that she would never and has never done that. Obviously she doesn't know she says the exact opposite in her journal. So on top of it all, she is lying straight to my face. I just don't know what to do. Do I call her out on it and deal with the backlash over the fact that I looked at her journal? Do I let it go? Any advice is really appreciated. I am just devastated. She has been emotionally cheating on you. She's hiding her true feelings on paper instead of talking to you. A guy and then Tinder. She's taking gradual steps to turn this emotional cheating into the physical. She sent nudes to strangers, for God's sake, and doesn't seem very remorseful. Your marriage is in trouble. You may think everything was fine in the marriage, but it's not. Screw the snooping. She's your wife. You two should 100% transparency with open and honest communication. It's time to sit her down and have the most serious conversation you've ever had with her. You two probably need some marriage counseling at the very least. You're only 31st with 6 years in. What happens in another 6 to 12 years? Could you ever truly let that go? Call her out on this and then divorce her. You don't need this type of wife in your life. Simple. When you snoop, you gotta prepare for the fact that either you find something awful, or find nothing and feel awful. In this case, it's the former and what you found sucks. You gotta be honest, she sent nudes to another dude, thought about leaving you and decided to hide it from you. You won't be able to let this go. You need a counselor if you want this marriage to survive, because frankly, it sounds like it's hanging on a thread right now. The backlash over the fact that I looked at her journal. Bro, are you sure you're actually a man? If you walked in on her in the middle of cheating on you, would you feel guilty for not knocking first? Edit. After looking at the nut jobs on here actually giving you backlash, all I can say is that this is why Reddit really is a worthlessness cesspool. I admit that the breach of privacy is wrong, but your wife, hopefully soon to be ex-wife, just admitted to emotional cheating and settling for you. She cheated on you multiple times. How you found out doesn't matter. You need to confront her about this, and then you can decide whether it's worth trying to reconcile based on her response. If she's anything other than remorseful, start planning how to get out. The cheating on its own is bad enough, but the part that really gets me is the bit where she says she wouldn't follow through on leaving you because she doesn't want to end up alone. She may as well have straight up said that she doesn't love you. The reason you want to stay with a person should be because you love them and want to share a life together, not because you're a big baby who can't handle being by yourself. Obviously I can't make your decisions for you, but I would be seriously reconsidering this marriage and thinking about getting in contact with a divorce attorney. While I agree you shouldn't have snooped, you already did, so no sense on dwelling on that now. Your wife is emotionally cheating on you. It is very telling that the only thing that stopped her from physically cheating is that she doesn't want to risk ending up alone. It wasn't thoughts of what it would cause you that stopped her. Is she going to download Tinder or any variation of that every time she gets mad at you? You are still young at 30, and as much as it may hurt at first, I think you should consider cutting your losses now. Be prepared for her to turn it around on you when you confront her. Dude, whether she gets mad at you for snooping or whether she begs for forgiveness, it's over. Only you can decide how you wanna move forward with this. Unless she doesn't wanna be with you anymore. Then it's good riddance. Okay, crap has gone down on both sides. The question is, what are you going to do? Clearly she's not satisfied with your relationship, and if you don't address this, things are likely to get worse. I think you first need to get some counseling to address the fact that she's not communicating what she wants. You're also going to need that to address how she's broken your trust. I don't think this is irreparable, but it will be if you don't deal with the issues at hand. It's your fault, champ. You was in ignorant bliss a few days ago. 30 years old women keep journals. Damn, she really did a cheating speedrun by matching with a stranger and sending nudes in less than 30 lanes. That's pretty sickening. That's all, folks. Stay with her if you love the girl and have a good relationship, leave if you don't. Everyone has secrets. She's a serial cheater and she's just getting started. Take pictures of her journal. Don't give a fuck how you found out your wife is a filthy cheater, just be glad that you did. I would see a lawyer and blindsided her with divorce papers. The crying and begging and swearing it was nothing is about to start. Call her out on it, but be prepared for trouble. Inform her that she's ending up alone anyway. If you bring up those things, the second you mention you read her journal, she's going to make it all about the fact that you read her journal. If you need an idea of what that looks like, read the downvoted replies to your post there at the bottom. But unless there's some other way to have found out about it, then you either need to try and avoid answering the "how did you find out" question, or just be ready to stick to your guns. Bottom line is that she cheated on you. I would never have sexual chats with other women, and no way I'd send nudes. If you guys are planning to have kids, you had better get this sorted before then, because life gets a whole lot more complicated when there are little ones in the mix. Who gives a shit if you read her journal? She should have hid it better, if she is going to document her own infidelity. Get your affairs in order first, then ask WTF. You're never going to unread what you read. The trust is broken, and won't come back without action. You absolutely have to confront her about this. Yes, you shouldn't have snooped, and we all agree that was bad, but in this case it was a stroke of bad luck that you now know what your wife is up to. Are you willing to just keep quiet, be the good husband, while your wife is cheating on you? I'm so sorry this is happening to you, but you absolutely without a doubt have to talk to her about this. Then either get couples counseling to move past the breaches of trust, hers obviously more so than yours, or get a divorce. Good luck, sad face. Divorce her. I have kept a journal since I was about 10 or 11 years old. Those are her most private and intimate thoughts. She doesn't even feel bad. Not even in retrospect. There's no saving that. I would bet there have been other instances over the years as well. You just know what's in that journal. This cannot be saved at all. Trying to assume the best intentions of everyone. The things she has written about, while awful, did not include physical, face-to-face meetings. She did not want to risk your relationship. You can rebuild from here. Take a long, hard look at your relationship. You say it has been generally happy, but has it really? When you fight, how do you fight? Do you call each other names? Do you relitigate past issues? Do you belittle one another? Definitely get some third-party support to help you work your way through this and hopefully build a stronger relationship. Okay, this is something I did once to pretty much catch if my ex ever looked through my journal. I basically wrote similar shit, videotaped myself doing it just to prove it. About 2 months later he comes into the living room yelling his head off about it and I showed him the video. I basically told him only I know what's real or fake in my journal and he will never know as I intentionally put fake shit so I knew he was reading it. My motto is kindness above honesty, and honesty with compassion. Maybe she thinks not confiding in you is being kind to you, because there is no compassion. I can see how she could be honest with you about these things. If I use the same motto on you, how can you be honest with compassion about this? You're past being kind because the trust is broken. Good luck. This should be motivation to focus on making your wife feel special and sexy. Let it go and don't take her for granted. This is a wake-up call for you if you want to stay married to her. Whatever happens, you did it to yourself. You chose to read her private thoughts. Everybody should have space to explore things that are on their mind. I hope you've learned a lesson here. And for all you people that are going to trash her for what she did, you all have your own personal thoughts that are not always pure. Normal. You have the same moments, but you don't write them down for someone to find. Your sick feelings as your punishment. She didn't do much wrong in the grand scheme of things except for some sexting. Minor transgression. You take this snooping of yours to your grave. Do not even try to make her feel bad. And, just in case, you didn't want to fuck your secretary or the cute grocery clerk yet, the time will come.